Alex Eala had already shattered expectations once before. Most people remember the result. Very few remember how impossible it seemed. 15 months ago, she stepped onto the court in Miami ranked outside the sport's elite, facing one of the most dominant champions of her generation. Almost everyone believed it would be another routine victory for IGA's Swiatek. Instead, the tennis world watched in disbelief as the young Filipina refused to play the role of underdog. She attacked from the very first point, stole time away from one of the best defenders in the game, and walked off the court with a stunning straight sets victory. It wasn't luck. It wasn't a miracle. It was a statement. Most assumed it would remain a beautiful upset that would never happen again. But now destiny has brought them together once more. Only this time, everything is different. The stage is bigger. The pressure is heavier. And the woman defending the Wimbledon title may actually be carrying far more weight than the challenger standing across the net. That is what makes this meeting so fascinating. The biggest question isn't whether Alex Eala can beat IGA's Swiatek again. The real question is whether Swiatek arrives as the favorite in name only. Because beneath the rankings and trophies, these two players are moving in completely opposite directions. One has spent months searching for answers. The other has spent months proving she belongs with the very best. And that collision could produce one of the biggest stories of Wimbledon. To understand why, you have to rewind the last 6 months. On paper, Swiatek remains one of the greatest players in women's tennis. She entered 2026 expected to continue her reign after delivering one of the most dominant Wimbledon finals in recent memory. Her destruction of Amanda Anisimova in last year's championship match wasn't just a victory. It was a performance that convinced many people a new era of grass court dominance had begun. Everything pointed toward another season filled with trophies. Instead, something unexpected happened. Little by little, the aura surrounding the defending champion began to crack. It wasn't one shocking defeat that changed everything. It was a collection of moments that slowly built an uncomfortable pattern. Matches she normally controlled became battles. Tight situations that once brought out her best suddenly exposed uncertainty. The wins became harder. The losses became more frequent. Before long, an uncomfortable reality emerged. Swiatek entered Wimbledon without a single title in 2026. 11 defeats already stained her season. Against elite competition, she repeatedly found herself falling short. Elena Rybakina stopped her in Australia. Alina Svitolina beat her twice during the spring. Mira Andreeva found a way through in Stuttgart. A retirement in Madrid only deepened concerns before Marta Kostyuk delivered another painful defeat at Roland Garros. Even her preparation for Wimbledon ended with disappointment after Emma Navarro eliminated her in Bad Homburg. None of those defeats alone defined her season. Together, however, they painted a picture few expected to see. The invincibility had disappeared. Suddenly, players stepped onto the court believing they could beat the reigning champion. Confidence is invisible until it begins to disappear. Then everyone notices. Even Swiatek herself couldn't hide it anymore. Her opening match at Wimbledon became an emotional struggle rather than a celebration. Taylor Townsend pushed her into uncomfortable territory before the defending champion escaped in 3 sets. Afterward, emotions overflowed. Tears appeared during her media session as she admitted the season had taken a mental toll. Expectations hadn't matched reality. Nothing had unfolded the way she imagined. Although her second-round victory looked far more convincing on the scoreboard, questions still lingered. Was the old Swiatek finally returning? Or had she simply survived another obstacle without truly solving the deeper issues beneath the surface? Those questions remain unanswered. And unfortunately for her, the next opponent is arriving with all the momentum in the world. Because while Swiatek has been searching for stability, Alex Eala has been building something extraordinary. What happened over the past few weeks has completely changed the conversation around the young Filipina. Grass was never supposed to become her playground this quickly. Yet tournament after tournament, she has looked increasingly comfortable on the fastest surface in tennis. It began in Birmingham, where she captured the biggest grass court title of her career. Even that victory revealed something important about her evolution. She refused to panic after dropping the opening set in the final. Instead, she adjusted, settled into her rhythm, and completed another impressive comeback. But that was only the beginning. What happened next forced the tennis world to pay serious attention. Berlin became the tournament that transformed promise into belief. Facing a draw packed with elite talent, Eala produced the kind of run that changes careers. She opened with a victory over Donna Vekic before producing one of the biggest wins of the season against world number 2 Elena Rybakina. Even after falling behind early, she refused to abandon her aggressive identity. She kept taking the ball early. She trusted her timing. She trusted her instincts. And eventually, the comeback arrived. As if that wasn't impressive enough, she followed it by defeating another top 10 opponent in Elena Svitolina. 3 consecutive victories against world-class players on grass suddenly made one thing impossible to ignore. Alex Eala wasn't enjoying a lucky stretch. She was becoming one of the most dangerous grass court players on tour. Former champions quickly noticed the transformation. Analysts pointed toward the same collection of strengths. Her left-handed serve stays low after the bounce. Her compact swings steal precious milliseconds away from opponents. Her willingness to attack early prevents rivals from settling into comfortable baseline exchanges. Grass rewards exactly those qualities. Every low bounce seems perfectly designed for the way Eala naturally plays. Of course, no breakthrough comes without setbacks. She suffered disappointing defeats at Queen's Club and Bad Homburg, reminding everyone that development is rarely a straight line. But what happened once Wimbledon began told a completely different story. She looked refreshed, focused, dangerous. Her opening round victory was almost flawless, filled with clean winners and fearless returning. Then came Maya Joint. At first, it looked as though Eala might be heading toward elimination after losing the opening set. But great competitors reveal themselves when everything begins slipping away. Instead of fading, she completely changed the match. She dominated the second set before delivering a ruthless 6-0 final set that stunned everyone watching. That performance revealed something statistics cannot measure. Alex Eala has learned how to solve problems in real time. She no longer relies on perfect starts. She now believes she can recover from adversity. And that belief might become her most dangerous weapon against the defending champion. But what nobody fully realizes yet is how different this matchup becomes on grass. Their rivalry is perfectly balanced. Eala shocked Swiatek in Miami on hard courts. Swiatek responded by winning their clay court meeting in Madrid. Now comes the deciding chapter on a surface neither has faced against the other. And grass changes everything. The surface itself may become the silent star of this match. Grass rewards players who strike early, flatten the ball, and steal time away from their opponents. It punishes hesitation. It exposes uncertainty. And that reality could completely reshape the battle between Alex Eala and Iga Świątek. Swiatek built her reputation on relentless topspin, incredible movement, and the ability to grind opponents into submission. On clay, her forehand jumps high, pushing rivals farther and farther behind the baseline until mistakes become inevitable. But grass doesn't cooperate with that style in quite the same way. The bounce stays low. Heavy topspin loses much of its bite. Rallies become shorter. Timing becomes everything. That doesn't mean Swiatek can't dominate on grass. She already proved she could by lifting the Wimbledon trophy. But this season has revealed something different. She has needed to flatten out her strokes more often. She has relied on her serve in moments where her forehand once did all the damage. And unfortunately for her, the serve hasn't always answered the call. Throughout 2026, too many matches have followed the same script. She builds momentum, creates opportunities, and then suddenly loses control when the pressure reaches its highest point. Several of her defeats came after winning positions. Others slipped away in deciding sets. That pattern is impossible to ignore because tennis at this level is often decided by belief more than ability. The closer the match becomes, the louder every missed opportunity echoes inside a player's mind. And if this contest reaches a third set, Swiatek won't just be fighting Eala. She'll also be fighting memories of every match this season that slipped through her fingers. But this is where the story takes another fascinating turn. Everything that makes grass uncomfortable for Swiatek seems to make Alex Eala even more dangerous. Eala doesn't rely on heavy spin. She drives the ball flat through the court, taking it almost immediately after the bounce. Instead of waiting for rallies to develop, she shortens them. Instead of reacting, she dictates. On slower surfaces, that style already creates problems. On grass, it becomes even more effective. Her left-handed serve naturally curves into a right-hander's body before staying low after the bounce. That single shot forces uncomfortable returns and opens the court for her next attack. During this grass season, she has also shown a willingness to move forward, finishing points at the net instead of remaining trapped in baseline exchanges. Against opponents who prefer rhythm, those surprise approaches create constant uncertainty. Swiatek loves building rallies. Eala wants to prevent them from ever beginning. And that contrast could define the entire afternoon. But before anyone crowns a new giant killer, reality deserves equal attention. Experience matters. Especially at Wimbledon. Especially on center court. Especially when every point feels like history is watching. Swiatek has already lived those moments. She knows what it feels like to hear thousands of people holding their breath before championship point. She understands how emotions rise and fall during a Grand Slam match. More importantly, she has survived those emotional storms before. Alex Eala is entering territory she has never experienced. This is already the deepest Wimbledon run of her young career. Every match now carries a different kind of pressure. The expectations of an entire nation continue growing with every victory. Filipino fans across the world have transformed her journey into something much larger than tennis. Every winner brings celebration. Every mistake brings silence. That emotional weight can inspire greatness. It can also tighten even the calmest hands. Nobody truly knows how Eala will respond because she has never stood in a moment quite like this. And that's what makes this contest impossible to predict. Pressure has a strange way of revealing things no statistic ever can. Some players suddenly play the best tennis of their lives. Others become strangers to themselves. Somewhere inside those first few games, we'll discover which version appears. Yet Swiatek's difficult season should never erase what she remains capable of doing. Even during her losses, flashes of brilliance have continued to appear. Before falling at Roland Garros, she defeated elite opponents with the authority that once made her nearly unbeatable. During the Italian Open, she stormed through multiple rounds, barely giving her rivals room to breathe. The problem hasn't been her highest level. The problem has been sustaining it. One match she looks unstoppable. The next she struggles to find rhythm. That inconsistency is perhaps the biggest mystery surrounding the defending champion. Which Swiatek walks onto the court? The ruthless champion who conquered Wimbledon? Or the player who has repeatedly watched winning positions disappear this season? Even she may not know the answer until the first few rallies unfold. There are several moments early in this match that could quietly predict everything that follows. The first involves Alex Eala's return position. When she stunned Swiatek in Miami, she refused to stand safely behind the baseline. Instead, she stepped forward, attacked second serves immediately, and robbed Swiatek of valuable reaction time. On grass, that strategy becomes even bolder because the ball reaches the returner much faster. If Eala begins the match standing aggressively inside the court, she'll be sending a powerful message. She isn't intimidated. She's here to dictate. If she retreats and becomes passive, it may suggest that the occasion itself has started influencing her decisions. Against a player of Swiatek's quality, caution often becomes an invitation to lose control. Another detail worth watching is the depth of Swiatek's forehand. At her best, those shots land dangerously close to the baseline, constantly forcing opponents backward. But during difficult stretches this season, the ball has landed shorter, allowing aggressive hitters to step forward and attack. Against someone like Eala, that small difference becomes enormous. Give her an extra step inside the court and suddenly she controls the rally instead of defending it. Then comes perhaps the biggest factor of all. Serving under pressure. Eala's serve has improved dramatically over the past year. The pace is higher. The placement is sharper. The confidence is obvious. But compared with the rest of her game, it remains the area opponents will target. During her brilliant run in Berlin, she survived occasional service breaks because her returning was extraordinary. Against Swiatek, recovering breaks won't be nearly as simple. Every service game will feel like a battle. Every second serve may become an invitation for the defending champion to attack. If Eala protects her serve consistently, the pressure immediately shifts onto Swiatek's shoulders. If she begins giving away cheap games, climbing back becomes much harder. That's why this match feels balanced in a way very few expected when the draw was first released. The rankings say one thing. Recent form says another. History favors the champion. Momentum belongs to the challenger. Logic points toward Swiatek. Confidence points toward Eala. And when those forces collide on one of the sport's biggest stages, predictions suddenly become much less reliable. Because sometimes tennis isn't decided by rankings, trophies, or reputation. Sometimes it comes down to one player believing for just a few hours that nothing is impossible. And right now, Alex Eala has every reason to believe exactly that.